La máquina deportiva, la factoría a nivel mundial de los deportes.
At this time, we'll open it up for some questions for Terry or Bartolo.
Bartolo, congratulations. When you signed with the Mets, the team was on the upswing, but not a winning team just yet. Just wondering what appealed to you about the Mets at first, signing here, why you decided to sign here, and then for Terry, after he answers, what he meant to your clubhouse and team to sign all-star pitcher of that caliber at that time where you guys were at.
Tú primero firmaste aquí, el equipo estaba mejorando, pero no era un equipo ganador. ¿Por qué tú quisiste firmar aquí y cómo se sintió ser parte de ese equipo?
Nada, quise firmar aquí porque para mí era un tremendo equipo. Cuando llegué tuvimos un poquito de suerte en el 2015, como dice que gracias a Dios llegamos a la Serie Mundial porque comenzó a trabajar con todos los muchachos y también con la gerencia como tratar de pelotero para apoyar a nuestro carrera.
For me, I thought this was a tremendous team. I thought in 2015 we did have a little bit of luck, but once Terry started working with a lot of the young guys and the front office started signing some free agents and supplementing the team, I think that's what ended up being so good about playing here.
Terry, if you don't mind, what he meant to the clubhouse.
Well, during my tenure here, we made some good signs, as everybody knows. This guy was one of the best. I had seen Bartolo when I managed the Angels, as Buck alluded to in his comments. The last time I had seen Bartolo pitch live, he beat us in Anaheim. He pitched a 2-hit shutout, 9 innings. The last pitch was the 128th pitch of the game. It was 98 miles an hour. The next time I see Bartolo, he's throwing 88 miles an hour, and the ball, he can't straighten it out. Everything sinks. And I've never seen anybody make the adjustment from being an absolute power guy to a finesse pitcher with great command of all of the pitches he threw, the changeup, the slider, the fastball, and he could go through a lineup 3 times with one pitch and have 4 different pitches because he sunk it here, he sunk it up there, he sunk it over there, and he sunk it down there, and nothing was ever in the middle of the plate. And for me, what he did in the clubhouse is showed all of the other pitchers, you don't have to throw 100 to be successful. It's command your fastball. And that was the art he did, and his what he did with Jeurys Familia and some of those young Latin pitchers to, hey, look, you all have good arms, learn how to command your fastball. And I think that's why every time he pitched, everybody was at attention. And as Buck said, on the other side of the field, there was a lot of nights I would see hitters just shake their head walking back to dugout 0 for 4. So he meant a lot to our ball club, and he won a lot of games. He ate up a lot of innings. He was a special guy to have on our team.
Howie?
This is actually for both of you, Bartolo first and then Terry. Most of us, Bartolo, when we think back on your career, we think of the home run and we think of the behind-the-back flip in Miami. But is there another moment, maybe another game from your Mets career that stands out that you kind of treasure?
Que muchos que cuando piensan en ti, ellos piensan del home run que diste o cuando tiraste la bola de por atrás. Pero hay otro juego que es tu favorito, tu memoria.
Yo tengo mucho juego en mi memoria. Vamos a suponer cuando estaba tirando los Reyes contra los Yankees, fue una experiencia bien bonita para mí. Y cuando tiré los 9-0 contra Miami, que Terry me dijo, este es tu último bateador, si no tú vas a jugar. Y gracias a Dios que Chiro falló con flash en center field.
Yeah, there are a bunch of games that I have in my memory, but there was the one where I had that no-hitter going on against the Yankees, and then there was the other 9-0 game that I threw against Miami that Terry said, hey, like, this is like the last hitter that you have right here, and luckily the hitter flied out, and that was the end of it there.
Yeah, I have one for you. You talk about professionalism. Yeah, we all knew, and as Buck alluded to, this guy was a better athlete than people give him credit for. The backflip was one thing, held runners, great fielder. We all knew prodigious power. You know, Pat Rustler's told me one time when he was the hitting guy here, he ran the pitcher's hitting, and he told me one day, he said, you know what's going to happen one of these days? Someone's going to throw this guy a cookie, and he's going to ambush him, and he did. But the biggest part, one of the biggest night I had with him, we were playing in Anaheim, and Bartolo was going to start a game, and I had burnt the bullpen up pretty bad the few days before. And he starts out the game, and I don't know, he got 2 or 3 in the first inning, they got a couple in the second inning, and he was getting knocked around pretty good. He walked in the dugout, and he came up to me and he said, I'll get you to the 7th inning. Do not worry about me. He knew the situation, he knew the bullpen was shot, and he said, don't worry about me. So in the major leagues, when your career is about numbers, he put the team first and not himself. And I respected him from that time on. This guy could have done anything he could do, and that showed me what a professional he really was. And that has stood out to me, and I've told pitchers about it, I've told people about it. This guy was more than just a good pitcher and a good athlete. He was a true professional.
Jared?
Hey Bartolo, 2 questions. One, you played longer in Anaheim and Cleveland than you did here. Why did it connect so well with you here in New York? And secondly, was it tough how tough was it to retire, to realize that you were done pitching? Thank you.
Que tú jugaste más temporada con Anaheim y Cleveland, so ¿por qué tú te pudiste conectar tanto con este equipo? Y si fue difícil para ti retirar.
Para mí Cleveland fue uno de los equipos más importantes porque me dio la oportunidad para subir a Grandes Ligas. Si hubiera sido por mis padres y mi familia, querían que me retirara con Cleveland. Con Anaheim tuve buena temporada, pero entonces cuando llegué aquí a los Mets, la fanaticada creo que para mí me dieron mi mayor apoyo y para mí fue lo mejor que pasé.
For me, yeah, I'm grateful for the Cleveland organization because they were the ones that gave me that opportunity and that started my career. If it was up to my parents and the rest of my family, they probably would have wanted me to retire there in Cleveland. Yeah, and I also had good years in Anaheim, but once I was done there, this was the fan base that accepted me the most and that supported me the most. So that's why I felt really comfortable here.
Bartolo, saludos, felicidades, hermano, tu retiro. Si tuvieras que agradecerle a alguien tu regreso al béisbol después de haber estado en Altamira, ¿a quiénes o a quién? Terry, you experienced Dominican winter ball. What do you think? So, how is it important for the Dominican players coming to the big league?
This question's for me?
Yeah,
Well,
one-on-one.
Well, for me, I love winter ball because winter ball is part of when you talk about developing a player, winter ball, you better learn how to win because that's what it's about. It's about going out there and playing the game the right way and winning. And that you know, in the minor leagues, sometimes they push winning aside as far as playing and trying to develop your skills. In winter ball, you have to learn how to win. And that's why I'm a true believer in winter ball. And when you have young prospects, they need to go down and they need to face that. And when you face those fan bases in winter ball and how they love the game and respect the game, you can come up here and you can deal with the people in New York City. And because it's the same way, and he certainly is proof of that.
Para mí fue cuando fui a Puerto Rico a jugar el premundial, que regresé a República Dominicana, me iba, una historia bien, me iba a la hacienda y me acostaba, o sea, en el play me acostaba, dejaba a mi familia en mi casa, vinieron después la esposa mía a hablar conmigo que si no quería regresar, después los amigos míos, y quien me me convenció más para regresar otra vez para Grandes Ligas, que me dijo para una oportunidad con Yankee a Tony Peña. Tengo que agradecerle el regreso.
For me, it was when I was in, for me, what ended up getting me back into the game was when I went to Puerto Rico. I went to go pitch over there for a bit, and then I came back to the Dominican Republic. And I was talking to my wife, and we were talking about making a comeback to the game. But if there's one person that I could really thank for getting me back into baseball, it's Tony Peña. And he was with the Yankees at the time, and I really have to thank him for that.
No.
Bartolo, when you joined the Mets, you did not throw 95 to 100 miles an hour. Yet you still pitched like 200 innings in your 3 years here. I just want to know, what adjustments did you make when you joined the Mets? Because obviously you were not throwing hard like you used to.
Que cuando tú llegaste a los Mets, ya te no estaba tirando 95 a 100 millas. ¿Quieres saber cuál ajuste tú hiciste para seguir teniendo éxito y tirando 200 innings cada año?
Yo comencé, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Tengo que agradecer un poco a Gremado, que me dio un consejo en el 96 para tirar 2 costuras, pero no me gustaba, como dice. Cuando tiré los 9-0 en Anaheim, en el domingo, ahí comencé a tirar 2 costuras. Entonces lo que hice fue que comencé a quitarle mucho a la bola. No me importaba tirar que ya 95, 96, 97, sino...
Now I'm here with the Mets, and I feel really comfortable here.
Buenas tardes, Bartolo, y a todos los que están por acá. Grato saludarte y verte por acá. También agradeciendo al cónsul general de la República Dominicana, Eligio Jaques, que vino a darte todo el apoyo en este momento tan importante de tu carrera. Bartolo, yéndonos un poco ya a esa época
Lo firmé, y al otro día entonces firmó otra persona por mi padre, Ramón, que es uno de